Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, viewers around the world, here we are at Casino del Sol in Tucson, Arizona. We're bringing you the men's teams semifinals. You have two teams, No Flash from Phoenix and AttaBoy from Tucson. These two players, the loser will take third place, and the other one will meet Avengers in the finals of the men's teams 2015 Tucson warm-up. Warming up for the 39th annual BCAPL National Championships. They will be held in conjunction with the US Open 8-ball and then the US Open 10-ball championships for the pros. So you'll have amateurs, pros, all walking around Las Vegas at the Rio for about a week there, a little over a week. So here we go. We're going to kick it off with, looks like Chris Redden and Steve Peterman will kick it off. Breaking will be Chris, and he's breaking for the guys from Phoenix. No Flash. BCA rule 8-ball on the 7-foot diamond tables. Pro cut diamond tables. When I say pro cut, it's the pockets, the way they're cut. They're at about 4 3/8 inches. So they're a little smaller than 4 1/2. You can't fit two balls inside the opening at all. They don't go in. Table is played fast and steady. It grabs every bit of English. There's no sliding here. So if you hit a rail, it's probably not going in. You got to keep it pretty clean. He's got solids, and he's got an open table. There's nothing hindering any of the balls. It's laying very, very nice for a table run. He'll probably follow this up and try to get the 2-ball on the side or the 1-ball in the corner. He could also play well, he can't get to the 5-ball. He's going to have to come up. He wants to avoid hitting that 9-ball. And if he uses straight high English, he should avoid it and come up by the 2. Depending on how hard, on his speed, and you'll have a shot on the 1 and be able to come back for the 2, but more than likely he'll stop it for the 7 in the left corner. Well, he drew it. This might cause him some problems. Nope, he drew past the 2. Had he kind of not cleared the 2-ball on the right there, he may not have been able to see the 1 and had it settle for a combination shot, which would have decreased his chances of getting out. He'll just follow this up for position on either the 7 or the 6, which are on the head rail. Chris has played pretty steady throughout the tournament. I've seen him on the stream table a couple of times. Now, while these guys are battling it out here in the pro arena, you've got their partners on another table over to the left. You have Carlos Avalos and Andy Teyechea battling it out over there. Top of your screen, you see 2 numerals to both zeros. The score will be kept there. This will be a race to 9 on both sides. Both teams will be racing to 9. This is the men's teams semifinals. A nice little stun here on this 6-ball sets him up for the 7. The 7 should lead him to the 5. You could play the 5 in the lower right-hand corner pocket, straight in, and stop. The only problem is I don't think the 8-ball goes in the side, so on the left side. He's come over. I think he's got himself, and no, he doesn't. He's fine. He's all good. He's got this 2-ball straight down to the right-hand corner pocket, but he's got to find a new home for the 5-ball. He's got to slide to the left-hand side of the table to get a shot on the 5. Not only left-hand side, left-hand upper part of the table. So he has created a small problem here by not shooting that 7-ball first, going to the 5, and then the deuce. He's probably going to draw back for the 7. He's got to make sure he clears it. Doesn't want a steep angle on the 7. He's got to come back. And see, now he's come back, and he has quite the angle. Quite the angle. So he might choose to play safe here. So where do you play safe? You've got two balls in front of two pockets at the upper part of the table. You got a ball in front of the side pocket in the middle of the table, and you've got a 9-ball that plays from just about anywhere on the right side of the table. So, I'm in trouble. Possible options. He might be able to see the 5 for the left-hand lower corner pocket, right-hand lower corner pocket, excuse me. Quick correction. If he's really feeling froggy, he could take this 5-ball on the side. He could bank the 7. It may bank in the lower right-hand corner pocket, and he'll have shape on the 5. Might have shape on the 5. Now it's going to run to the 12. Let's just see what he does. He went down to the lower corner pocket and actually played it pretty close. Pretty close. This will bring Steve Peterman to the table. Now Steve is more than capable to run these 6 balls that are left on the table. He's probably going to want to start with this. Well, he's going to start with. You can start with either ball on the left side of the table there, the 12 or the 14, which is by the side pocket. He can play that in the right-hand lower corner. He could also play the 13 that's in front of the right-hand upper pocket. So he's got options. And what does he like best? What's going to give him the best? What flows the best? What do I have to do the least work in? Where do I have to travel the cue ball the least? There's not much traffic to get in trouble with, so that he's not faced with. Now, did you notice the English on that cue ball went to the right after contacting that ball? The slightest amount of English, these rails grab it really nice, really nice. So you want to be very accurate when you strike the cue ball as to what English you're using, and know that whatever you put on that ball, it's going to respond that way. A lot of tables you lose the English because of the cloth slides, or you don't want to go too high. He got absolutely perfect. He'll follow this and play the 8-ball in the opposite side pocket. Game 1 will be going to AttaBoy. Tucson versus Phoenix. Well played by both gentlemen. Well, Andy and Carlos are shooting. I think Carlos is on the 8-ball and playing it in the side, so we're going to be tied at 1s. And we are tied at 1s. 1 apiece is your score. The percentages you see next to the team on your scoreboard, on your screen. You see No Flash at 62%. You see AttaBoy at 37.7%. Those percentages come to you from the Fargo rate system. That is the percent that they're favored to win the match in a race to 9. And that is computed or calculated by combining each player's Fargo score that is assigned to them as they track their wins and losses. And this is in games, not in results. Number of games played, wins and losses both are entered into the data system. The system is used and will be introduced to the rest of the U.S. Some people are familiar with it, and this is all new. And this will be global. You have Jim Rabitin versus Andy Peterson. Kevin Peterson, excuse me. Sorry about that. Kevin Peterson. Kevin is an advanced player, and Jim is an open player. So if it gives you any kind of a sway as to what might go on here. Jim has broken the balls. Made a couple of, I think he's made a solid and a stripe. And so it's an open table. In BCA, as long as the ball is pocketed, you can choose either stripes or solids. You're not limited to the ball that's pocketed, to the suit of the ball that's pocketed. For instance, if you made a solid, you don't just have to suit. In the old days, you could just, if you made a solid, you're shooting solids. BCA rules, if you make a solid, you have an open table. You can choose either one. As soon as you pocket a ball that you call, then it is The suit is established, and you're taking solids or stripes. Little or big ones, whatever you choose to call it at home. One of the things that when you rub shoulders with the pros in Las Vegas this year, at the U.S. Open 8-ball and the U.S. Open 10-ball championships, the pros will be playing on exactly the same equipment that you will be playing on. So you can watch how they play, emulate what they do, improve your game. Try to figure out why they play that instead of this shot. I think I would have played this shot. It was easier. Why did they take a harder shot? Because it led him to an easier run. Jim's figuring things out here. He's saying, what do I do? Which one is easier? I don't have much to start with. I want stripes. I have easy shot on the solids with the one ball in the upper corner pocket, but I want stripes. Because if you take stripes, the only problem ball he has is the 8-ball. And you'll see it clustered over with two solids on the left side of the table, on the upper part of the table. Now he's going to play this 12-ball, push a couple of stripes closer to that 8-ball, and as long as it stays open, he'll have something to move that 8-ball and be able to address his problem. Well, he made 2 balls. I guess he's in a hurry to run out, but he's limited himself to 1 shot. And it's a steep angle on the 9-ball, and about the only way he can go is back and forth, unless he chooses to put extreme spin on the ball. So he's probably going to try to end up close to where he is now, and shoot the 12-ball, excuse me. And he'll be shooting the 9-ball, trying to get shape on this 12-ball, either for the side pocket or for the corner pocket. But he's still faced with the same dilemma. What do I do with the 8-ball, even if I can make the 12? And from what I see, the only thing you can do is either put the cue ball against the rail on the left side of the 8 and play it on the side on the right, or he tried to break it out right there, or he just opened it up. And actually, he opened it up for Kevin because he's done shooting. And this brings Kevin to the table. He's looking to see if that 5-ball goes. He wants to know how much work do I have to do to get out. I don't think the 5-ball goes by the 8. And over here you have Brian Poor. As you see him surveying the situation, he's playing Rob Valenzuela. Players for AttaBoy are Steve Peterman, Andy Kasher, Kevin Peterson, who's at the table now on the right in the arena, and you have Rob Valenzuela, who is playing on the table you're looking at, but that's Brian Poor. For No Flash, the players are Carlos Avalos, Brian Poor, who you just saw, and Jim Rabiton, Crash Redden, or Chris Redden. Well, back to Andy. Back to Kevin. This is the second time I've called him Andy. Sorry, Kevin. The reason I apologize to the players, they'll be able to watch this on YouTube, as CSI will post them to their YouTube page. And all matches, pro, amateur, that are live streamed will be available within a couple of weeks for the players viewing, and they're there forever. So you can watch them, analyze your game, see what you did wrong, see where you went wrong if you won, see what you did right see where you went wrong if you lost, see what you did right if you won. And that great shot you made that you think nobody captured, nope, it was captured. And he opened it up, and he opened it up well. He's not happy with it. He wanted a shot on the 4-ball. He doesn't have it. He's going to have to shoot the 3-ball. Now, in shooting the 3-ball, it's going to lead the cue ball towards that side pocket and up. And you see all the balls he's going to want shape on the 5 and the 4 on the lower. He's going to want his cue ball on the lower side of the side pockets. But his cue ball is going to, go to the upper part of the table. So he's faced with, he could play safe to the upper left-hand corner pocket, using the 5, 8, and 4 as blockers. It's pretty easy safety. He'll come off the 3-ball, or he just could be aggressive and shoot this ball. If he misses this ball, it's going to cost him the game. He did not miss the ball, but this 4-ball is tough to get on. And if he tries to get on the 4-ball now and doesn't, he probably won't have a shot on the 6 or the 7. So this is this can be a little. He wants to be sure what he's doing here. He might choose to bounce it out. He'd run into it. No, he's going to go nice and he's playing safe. He's playing safe, but he's tied up the 4. And he's tied up the 5. He chose to play safe instead of trying to get tricky and getting that perfect shape on the 4, because even if he gets a perfect shape on the 4, his angle to come down for the 6-7 was hindered by the 12 ball. Now, Jim is looking at going rail first to the underneath the 8 ball to the 9, and he's calling the 9 ball. If he happens to pocket this ball, which is very possible from the way he's shooting it, he's going to run into the 12 and open it up for shape. Well, I thought he'd run into the 12. He would have run into the 12 because he overcut the ball, which changed the angle of the cue ball, and he missed the 12. Or he would have been real close. Either way, he would have had shape on the 12 ball, or position, shape or position. Excuse me. Another safety. He says, I've got a problem. The reason he played safe there, he could have made the ball and gotten shape on the next ball, but then he's forced to run the cue ball around for position on the 4 and the 5. So he chose to lock him up and put him in jail and let him kick at these balls in hopes of getting ball in hand to just be able to place the cue ball wherever he wants, which would probably be on the 5 ball, and shoot it in the upper right-hand corner, then shoot the 4 ball in the side pocket, and then just proceed to have a fairly easy run to win the game. Jim could kick this ball in. He's going to keep tying it up, though. Now, see, this went from a run-out game to now it's going to be a position game and a strategy game. A ball can easily go from one to the other. If the balls are tied up early, you go for that strategy game. If the balls are wide open, you try for a run out. As this remember, this was, he didn't get that. But regardless of what he did, the 12 ball's tied up with the 8. It doesn't look like the 9 ball goes by the. He could possibly slide this ball down the rail underneath the 12 and the 8, but what's he going to do with the 12? Right now, it looks like the advantage is Kevin's. But the advantage can quickly be turned around by a good shot on Jim's part. If he can get that cue ball against the rail on his left of his hand and the 8 ball, all of a sudden, tables are turned. But even with ball in hand, the 12 ball is hard to do anything with, except another safety. Open it up, get behind the 8, freeze him against the 8, lock him up, in other words, and life could be good. But it's difficult. Very difficult. And first, he has to execute this shot. Meanwhile, on the left side over here, you got Rob Valenzuela and Brian Poor going at it. Rob's at the table, shooting a long shot, as Jim figures out what he wants to do with his 9 ball and 12 ball. Score's tied at 1. We've got 2 other games being played, one other game being played. The one you're watching on one table, and this one that you're watching now on this table. And this is Brian Poor at the table. He is playing Rob Valenzuela. We're going to cut back to Jim Rabbiton as soon as he gets back to shooting his shot Here you go. Here's what he decided to do with the 9 ball. Play it off the 8, opened everything up, and left him a nice shot on the 4. I like what he did. Had he held the cue ball, he wouldn't have given up the shot on the 4. Kevin's going to jump all over this 4-ball shot because it opens up, it addresses his problem. Takes care of his problem. The only thing he could have done different that would have improved his position was held the cue ball low. He would have still had a straight-in shot on the 12. And but he wouldn't have given this a big advantage to Kevin, giving him the shot right here. In all likelihood, Kevin will get out here. And game number 3 will go to AttaBoy for a 2-1 lead. He'll shoot the 6 ball first, try to get he'll try to put the cue ball exactly where it's at now. And if he doesn't, he's going to come to the inside so he can take the cue ball out and shoot over to the right and shoot the 8 ball in the left-hand corner pocket, as you just saw him ensure that the 8 ball goes by the 9. 2 ways to play this: a draw, which takes you up high, or 3-rail shape. Now see, I prefer the 3-rail shape. I was going to say he's better off with the 3-rail shape because now he can run into actually, if he runs into the 12 ball, it pushes it up for position on the right side. He's better off. There you have it. This is, under normal circumstances, this is an easy shot. There's a little bit of pressure on him here. Believe it or not, they feel it too. Nice game, nice run. That was well played by both players. Kevin just was able to take advantage of a mistake, and the safeties forced the mistake. They take a 2-1 lead. We'll switch over. Okay, here we are. We got Steve Peterman up at the table, and his opponent will step into the arena shortly. And Steve says, "Who am I playing?" And Carlos says, "You got me, buddy." So Carlos will grab his cue. Coming into the arena for his first shot, if Steve doesn't make anything, it would be Carlos Avalos. But he made something, so Carlos is still. Here he comes. Got to look at Steve Peterman, and here comes Mr. Avalos. We didn't want Steve to feel so lonely. And it looks like AttaBoy just took a 3-1 lead. Although Carlos is sitting on the right side. AttaBoy leads 3-1. This game can change it. It can go to 3-2. Meanwhile, we're going to start another game on the other table. And that'll affect that score also. Look how your percentages have changed now next to the team's names. AttaBoy is almost at a 52% chance of winning the match. Well, No Flash has come down a little bit to 48. I believe No Flash was favored at the beginning. Heavily favored. Now this two-game lead by AttaBoy has changed that. Just as cardwood that gets flipped over that's advantageous to one player or the other playing Texas Hold'em when you watch it on television. Same effect. If the game changes, if the score changes, the odds change. It's all computed with the Fargo rate system. Well, you're going to have Kevin Peterson playing Chris Redden on table 1. You're looking at table 33. There's 32 of the tables in the room, all on the left side of the ballroom here at Casino del Sol. And then you've got the one arena right here where your gladiators come in with their swords and pick the balls apart. Smack them, crack them, bank them, jump them. They do all kinds of things to these poor balls. These poor Cyclops balls on these nice diamond tables. Using Magic Rack a couple of times. Probably playing with Kamui tips. And more than likely some of the players playing with Predator cues. As Predator is one of their shafts are widely used. Well, Carlos missed his opening shot. This brings Steve up, and the table is still open. He pocketed I think it was a stripe. I think he's pocketed the 9 ball. So, but since he didn't establish a suit, it's open. Steve is looking at taking solids. Well, let's analyze the position of the balls. You have the 8 ball tied up with a 1. I don't think the 1 ball's tied up too. You have the 6, 7 tied up in the upper right-hand corner pocket. You have the 14 blocked by the 6, 7. You have the 4, 14 tied up in the middle of the table. And then you got a little cluster with the 11, 3, 5. So this table's going to take some work. It's going to take a little bit of work. He's going to start off with a combination, it looks like. Is he playing? I'm not sure. He's playing the 3 ball. Little carom shot. Well done. Couldn't quite tell what he was doing there for a second. And of course, when he shot it, it made it pretty obvious. Even I could figure it out. He addressed this problem in the upper right-hand corner rather easily. He'll use left low English and come underneath the 6 for position on that ball. Or he's just going to, okay, there you go. And he's going to want to open up the 4 ball. He doesn't have to open it up. He'll just tap that in. He'll tap in the 6 ball. Careful opening up the 4-14. He could get hooked by a ball and not be able to see the 5 ball, which is the shot he wants to shoot next, I think. If these balls tie up, he's in a problem, and they tied up. This is what you call everything going wrong. Everything just, this ball doesn't go. Must be playing the 5 ball. He is. Now he's straight in, and he's got to come up to the middle of the table for a position shot on the 4 ball. So you're going to see him amp his cue up here and draw this ball back. And the ball didn't draw, and you see the disappointment on his failure to execute. It's a stroke shot. You've got to take your time on that. Get that cue down there, and ensure you bring that ball back. The one thing about these 7-foot diamonds or 7-foot tables with Simonis cloth is that if you stroke it good and you think you're bringing that ball back, 12 inches, which is about what he wanted to bring it back, and you put a good stroke on it, you're going to end up somewhere in the 24 to 28 inch range, which would have been okay as long as he didn't get behind the ball. So now he's got to figure out something else. Options. He can try to back cut that ball and bank it in the lower corner pocket. He could play the bank off of the 12 for a shot. He could try to play a safety somehow in that area, but he's got to. It's hard to not give up a shot on the 10, the one that's over by the side pocket. Gives you a better view of what he's looking at, and if you see some possibilities, let me know somehow. Big game here for a 4-1 lead or a 2-3 lead. I mean, 3-2 lead. And Jim and Kevin are still battling it out on table one. Chris and Kevin are still battling on table one. He's called it in the side pocket. It looks like he might be kicking it a kick bank. Rather creative, but that 10 ball was big where it was at. Now he has missed a shot and opens it up for Carlos, but in doing so was able to hit that 12 ball over to block the 8. But with 6 balls on the table, and Steve having just 1 ball on the table, there's a little bit of an advantage to Carlos because he's got 5 balls to hide behind. He can't hide behind the 12, but he's got, let's call it 4 balls to hide behind. And attempt to get ball in hand, or just get an open shot, or he can maneuver to open up that 8 ball. And he's got to be careful opening it up, because if he hits the top part of the 12, it drives the 8 ball in the corner pocket, which would lose him the game. So this game is far from over. There's work that needs to be done by both players here. And actually both players have to open up that 8 to get a shot at it. Steve may be able to bank it, but Carlos has to open it up. He called a safety. He's waving his hand safe. And did he get him? Looks like it. It looks like he might be able to see a small edge of the 4 ball. I can't tell from my angle. And I don't want to stand up and walk over in the line of the shot, because I'll be in Steve's view. And we don't want to shark him. He's taking a look at how much of that 4 ball he can hit, if any. Decisions. Nice hit. Well hit. He's giving up a shot on the 13. This will get Carlos started into working the balls off the table and getting to that 8 ball. Carlos is facing. He says, how do I open this up? How do I get this 8 ball? I'd like to hit it from the bottom rail, but how can I come into that without risking making the 8? Now he's got a nice shot here, and but if he uses too much high English, he may just clip that 12 and make the 8. The shot to shoot here is high English on this 11, and just miss the corner pocket by about 2 inches and come up and hit the 8. Delicate shot, but possible. You see the way the balls lie, and it is fraught with peril. You have the corner pocket there. If you nibble the 4 ball, you're going in the pocket. If you get too much English on this ball and you cut it too thin, you hit the 12 ball and make the 8. So you can lose on this shot, and you can open it up, but it doesn't mean you're going to win. So he's going to play safe. This is going to allow Steve a 2-rail shot for this this 4-ball. I mean a 1-rail shot. You can kick this with a lot of spin. Tough shot. But I'll tell you, I saw one made very similar to this by another player. So it's not impossible. It's probably a 1 in 100, but it's not impossible. And Steve's thinking, you know something? If I break out the 8-ball, I don't think I want to do it. So he's just going to come down and hit the ball, try to not give up ball in hand. But Carlos has a choice, but he'll play the 13. It's closer, it's easier, but he still has to find a way to open up the 8. If he leaves the 13 there, he can get real good position. We've changed angles, and we're watching Chris shoot this 12-ball down the rail. What looks to be the winning shot if he gets good position on the 8-ball, and this will make it 2-3. Let's see if he pockets his 8-ball. We can't see him, his body's in the way, but I can see the pocket. It is right by his elbow, and if the 8-ball goes in that pocket, which it did, you see him shaking hands, and Chris gets that game over Kevin Peterson. Score is now 2-3, and now you'll see the percentages change. Carlos is still figuring out what he wants to do here. How, what, and why should I do what I do? 8-ball is a pain in my neck. Another safety. I think Carlos is going to play safeties until you can get something over by this 12-ball to break it out. The 13 is the shot he's probably chosen in his mind to break out the 12. So even if Steve misses this, he'd like to at least hit the 13 and move it. Okay, 2 ways you can break this out. With the 13, or come straight across with the 11. But the 4-ball's in the way of the 11 option. He's just going to open it up and put the cue ball in the center of the table on the head rail. He's got to be careful not to leave an opening between the 2 balls in the middle of the table, because it's going to allow Steve to bank that 4-ball. And if he can see a bank on it, he's going to be shooting at it. Heck, at this point, Steve will shoot at a white flag. And Carlos got him. Carlos got him good, too. He got him really good. There's a possibility if he was over to the right a little bit, he'd be able to kick it or bank it. But now he's going to come to the side rail and into the 4, calling the ball in the lower right-hand corner pocket. A possible shot. This is not impossible, just very improbable. Hit it. And actually, he's ended up in a pretty good place. He's going to be played safe again, though. And this doesn't bother Carlos at all, because he can just either come up to the 11 just a little bit, and look at it. He's trying to see what he might leave him. The only danger is leaving him something on this side of the table, on the left side of the table, where he can kick the 4-ball on the side, on the right side. Because it is a possible shot. And in desperation, people will try all the possibilities. Sometimes when you think it's impossible, up jumps the devil. Playing on table 1, while Carlos is thinking this one out, you have Rob Valenzuela and Jim Rapitin. Another game going on. Trying to get that score to 3-3 is Jim. Trying to get that score to extend the lead to 4-2 is Rob. Doing the same on the arena table is Carlos. Wanting to play safe here, figuring he knows he's playing safe. He's just figuring out how to play it and what's the best safety. And I would just tap the 11 on the right side and send the cue ball to the middle of the table. There's no reason to move that ball. That's where you didn't want to be. This ball can now be kicked in. Or maybe even cut straight in. Yes. Didn't want to put him there. I don't think. Maybe that's exactly what Carlos had in mind. He may have been trying to freeze him to the 13. Which would have really put him in jail with no hope of breaking it out. But instead, he's given up a shot. A very unlikely one, but a shot nonetheless. He's got to cut this so thin. He overcut it. But you see, if he could overcut it, you know he could have made it. And actually, you know, well, you don't know. I was going to say he would have had a shot on the 8 ball, but no, because the angle he went in that 4 ball would have changed the direction of everything that took place in that shot. Well, now Carlos is looking at a table run, but has to play the 11 ball. But he's got 2 balls to move the 11 to get any kind of a shot he needs. Moving it now. Moving it now. I look to Carlos to dispose of these 4 balls and shoot the 8 ball. He'll get to the 8 ball and should be able to close it up, tying up the score. And meanwhile, on the other table, Jim's working, trying to do the same thing. Turn that score around. We're down by 1. With these 2 games, they could be up by 1. This is a race to 9. First team to 9. Well, too hard for that ball. Okay for the 12 ball. But now he's limited his options. He liked to have head shape on the 15 in the same corner pocket he pocketed the last ball in. Well, it looks like Jim is done working, and Rob's going to go to work with an open table. Looks like Jim's missed the 8 ball. So they're out of control in that game, and now control now belongs to AttaBoy. See what happens. See what they can do with it. Carlos has a pretty simple shot to get on this ball for the corner pocket. There it is. And he struck it nicely. And he'll just kind of stop the cue ball there for the 8 on the side. And he will tie the match up at 3. And the players shake hands, leave the arena next to gladiators. And we've switched over. You have Rob, working at the table. And I can see now I was mistaken in saying that Jim missed the 8 ball. He missed the stripe prior to it. And that one, the ball right next to the 8 under Rob's armpit, is the ball that he missed. And Rob's working away. Up to the top of the table. What does he have? A steep cut on the ball on the head rail, or a safety? He's going with a steep cut. Meanwhile, coming into the arena, you have Brian Poor and Andy Teyechea. Well, he made the ball. He's going to get nice position on this ball. Very nice position. Went 2 long rails to get nice position on that ball. He'll probably follow it and just get position on that 8-ball for that side pocket, right by his hand where he puts his hand down, and close out the match, close out the game. Never mind, he went around. Oh my, he went the hard way. He's in a little bit of trouble here. And he's about to break the balls over here in the arena, but we're going to stay here and watch this. No, we're going to go back to the arena. I'll let you know what happens with the 8-ball. Did he shoot him? He has missed it. He's missed it and given Jim a shot. Jim has a, well, not an easy shot, not a hard shot. And he breaking the ball. Smack him hard. There goes a ball, and nothing goes in. A cluster of balls at the upper part of the table. And other than that, you can maneuver to get everything open that's in the middle part of the table. 2 clusters, upper corner, center, and upper left. Jim took that game, and as you can see, the score will soon be 4-3. No flash. So from a 3-2 lead, they go to a 4-3 deficit. How quickly things can change when you're having 2 games at the same time and you lose them both. Over on table 1, it looks like you're going to have Kevin Peterson and Carlos Avalos battling it out. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, in the arena, you got Brian Poor going after the solids. Steve Kwan, who's doing all the electronic work here, all the camera work and everything else, he's rocking out to the song. I don't know if you can hear it, but he's rocking out. Meanwhile, Brian's rocking out to this table. He froze him on the... If we're going to get into safety games, I'm going to give a small edge to Andy. He's studying it. He knows he could be in trouble here. Whatever he's got in mind, he's going to have to execute perfectly. Perfectly. How's that? Play on words. Can't pronounce them right. It's going to have to be perfectamundo. Is that better? No. You guys don't get concerned if I ask a question and answer it myself. I do it all the time. He's going to go up against the 4-ball. Real soft. He wants to go up against the 4-ball with his cue ball. If he goes by it, Brian's off to the races. If he puts the cue ball up against it, not so much. And he'll be singing Another One Bites the Dust. Battle continues over on table 1. We're in Tucson, Arizona at Casino del Sol. CSI has put on a great venue for Tucson, Arizona for the warm-ups for the 39th Annual National Championships. Bad Boys Productions brought in 34 tables, set them all up. Billy Palmer's billiard accessories. Get going, and look at this shot. Look at this shot. What a safety. He kissed off a ball. He clipped off a ball, went 2 rails with perfect speed to get back on the 4 ball. What a great shot. Great shot. And Ryan attempted to do the same thing. Now he's giving Andy a shot at the 11 ball in the lower right-hand corner pot. And he already knows what he's going to be shooting, but he wants to know what he's going to do with the cue ball after he strikes the 11. He wants to strike the 11 and send it down to the lower right-hand corner. And then he wants to take his cue ball to the most advantageous position, which might be. He's going to want a shot on this 9. But what he really wants is a shot at that 13 on the side so he can open up whatever he needs to open up. He doesn't need to open up anything. If he can get a good angle on this 13 ball, he can get the 10, the 12, and work his way to the 9. I mean, work his way to the 8 ball. The perfect angle on the 13 is critical. Or the perfect angle on the 12 ball is just as critical. Making the ball is one thing. Putting the cue ball where you need it is another. And at this point right here, it's just as important as making the ball. Well, nothing's as important as making the ball. You don't make the ball, you don't continue to shoot. Make the ball you did, and ouch. There you go. Now you know how important making the ball is. He's got the perfect angle on the 13, though, and more than likely would have had a good chance, would have had an increased chance to run the table for a win. They now trail by a game. Something they don't want to be thinking about when they're in the arena or playing either game. They need to be free. Their mind needs to be free to think of what they're doing to win the game. Not sitting there thinking, oh, we're down by 1. For a lot of players out there that play team sports, don't think of where you stand when you're playing. Think of where you stand when you go in, so you can understand the pressure, the importance of what you're going to be doing. But while you're doing it, don't think about it. Do what you have to do to win the game. The rest is out of your control. And there's a big mental part of the game in pool. You got to keep your cool. You got to be open. Keep that mind. You got to be open-minded to do what you have to do and select the best option. Brian's looking at the 6 ball. He also has a 2 ball on the side, and those are his 2 options right now. There's always the option of playing safe, but with 2 open shots available, he's not playing safe with 6 balls on the table. He's got to run those off. His opponent has 5 balls left on the table. And Brian has a 3 ball he has to work with. Oh, it's just the other way around. I'm sorry. There's six stripes. Is it six? Yeah, there's 6 stripes left on the table, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to count here, folks. 5 solids left on the table. Fortunately, I didn't have to use my toes. He's in trouble. He made a nice shot, came back and left the cue ball up against, he put himself in jail, left the cue ball up against the 13 ball. And now he's going to want to try to kick safe. But where do you kick safe to? He has to make contact with a solid ball and then hit a rail, or he gives up ball in hand. If he gives up ball in hand at this juncture, Andy is fairly certain to run out. He'll probably start with the 13 ball, but that's going to be moved. I mean, with a 2 ball, but that may move right now. Well, looks like Kevin was successful in his endeavor to help his team out, and the score is now tied at 4. Takes a little bit of pressure off of Andy, just a little. Brian put himself in jail. He handcuffed himself, and he's not happy. But happy or sad, he has to perform. Has to put the cue ball where it serves him and not his opponent. He's going off the 13 ball. He's going to try to run up against the 7 or the 6 ball by the 8 ball, looks like. Oops. I meant he's going off the 1. He saw solids. Can't hit the 13 ball. And he didn't get it back up by the 6 ball. So Andy's coming to the table. Even though he has an easy shot on this ball to pocket it, his position is a little trickier since he's so straight on the ball. He doesn't have a good angle to really work the cue ball as he'd like. So he's going to have to create one off this shot with either English or angle. And you really can't cheat the pocket much, so it's going to have to be done well. I look to see him shoot this rail first and go up for the 10 ball. By rail first, I mean hitting the bottom rail, then the ball. There's not much of an angle there, but it's enough to run the cue ball up by the second diamond on the far right hand rail, which give him a shot at the 10 or a shot at the 12, or even a shot at the 9 if he runs up a little higher. Let's see how he does it. Critical shot. If he executes this and gets that cue ball off that rail, he can win this game. The other thing you do is just draw it back a little bit and shoot the 12 ball. But the 12 ball is 6 feet away. And though it looks easy in front of that pocket, you'd be surprised how many times those shots that look easy don't go, aren't made. Complicated issues. Complicated issues. He can't see the ball. He's snookered by the 10 ball. The good thing is he can go off the 10 and try to get over by either behind the 12, or he can actually kick at the 12 and get safe. He might leave if he can move the cue ball to the left of the 12 ball. He won't leave that 6 ball down at the bottom. But if he get the cue ball right to where he's looking at right now, he doesn't give up a shot. He'll force Brian to figure out a safety. The ideal position for this cue ball would be 1 diamond off the head rail to the left of the table. worst thing he could do is come in from where he's aiming at, hit that 12 ball and scratch. The best he could do is hit that 12 ball and slide over to where the 9 ball is. Brian has a shot. He's got a thin cut on the 6 ball, and that's pretty much all the shot he has. So he can try to pocket the ball, or he can just follow the 6 ball softly, leave the cue ball right where it's right on the bottom rail, and he's got an effective safety. But Andy kicks well. But I believe that's a shot I would go with. He's not even try to cut this ball, just come down and play a safety, leaving the cue ball on the foot rail, just as he's done. And he can see the 13 ball, which means again he can just follow it. He can see the 13 and follow it straight up, and leave him straight down on the 2 ball with another safety attempt. A lot of maneuvering in this game, I'm telling you. Andy's hard to outmaneuver, because just when you think you've got him safe, as Spike Gallardo, he can hurt you with his billiards, with his billiard acumen. Plays a little 3 cushion, and he can put the cue ball where he wants to. As he's exhibited many times here this past week. If you want to Google Andy Teyechea, Google him, and you'll see a shot that it's been posted, I believe, to YouTube. And it rivals one of the best shots made by a top professional called the magician, Efren Reyes. Oh, I don't like this. Although it's hard not to make a good hit because he's got 3 balls he could hit. I still don't like it. Will he get a rail? See? Ooh. Oh, he got it. Very well done. That gives you an example of how well Andy plays the rails. I mean, he kicked to that side of that ball to get that result. I didn't like it because I would be guessing he wasn't. So I didn't like it because I'm not sure I could execute it. He liked it because he knew he could execute it. Well done, Andy. Second great shot we've seen in this match, in this game. Started out with a 2-rail, with a clip and a 2-rail. Ran the cue ball 2 rails for a safety on the 4 ball at the very beginning of the game. Brian was a little unfortunate when he played that safety, that he left the ball where he did. Now see, oh, and it's opened up, but oh, and he's got a shot at the 13 in the corner pocket. Pretty intense game with the score tied 4-4. Andy Teyechea and Brian Poor battling it out. We saw Brian in the arena throughout the course of this tournament. He was in here with his beautiful wife Veronica, and they were runners-up in the Scotch doubles. They were defeated by Stephen Barker and Jessica Derazinski. They were in a position where they had a double tip, Steve and Jessica, and they weren't able to get past the first set. after a long, long, tiring day. Battling it out. You know, that 13 may not go by that 14. Otherwise, he would have shot it by now. But he's wondering, what do I do with this 10 ball? What can I do with the 10? The 10's tied up. Doesn't appear to have a shot to the side pocket. Played safe. He didn't play the ball, he played safe. So, he says, until I know what I want to do with the 10 ball, kick again. Some pretty high level 8 ball for you folks in this team event. Meanwhile, on table 1, you have Chris Redden and Rob Valenzuela battling it out. And here we go. We're off to the races. Things are opened up. And he has an open shot on the 14 with a way to get back to the 10 ball. No, he's too straight. And No Flash will take a 5-4 lead as Chris Redden just put his team, just gave his team a lead of one game lead. As the race shortens, it's to 9. They now need 4 games. This one and 3. Meanwhile, Andy says, you're not getting this game if I can help it. We'll be tied at 5 soon. And you'll see the percentages change as they're 4-4 and No Flash takes a 1-game lead. They're at 66% favorite right now. They're about to be a higher favorite. They're now 77% favorite. Oh, and they're going to be a higher favorite because Andy just missed a very makeable shot. When I miss shots like that, all I say is up jump the devil, unforced error. Too much on your mind. And you didn't focus on that last shot. That's not necessarily Andy's case, but you know, that's what we usually think when we miss balls, when they're makeable. Especially, he missed it by a few inches. So, Brian wants to make the best of it, but he says, where do I start? I've got an open shot on the 1 ball, but I've got a 6 ball down by these 2 stripes on the right-hand corner that I don't like. I've got to do something with it. What do I do with it? He could be looking to play safe since he's looking at the 6 ball. I don't see him taking a full flyer at this. I just don't see it. Tell you what I like here. I like shooting that 1 ball and following it just a hair, giving yourself a little bit of an angle to hit the rail and come back and hit that 6 ball. Towards the left-hand corner pocket, pocketing that, going up table for the 2 in the right-hand corner pocket and the 8 ball in the left-hand corner pocket, and extending your lead to 6. But he's not shooting to a full side pocket. It's angled, so it will be a a lower percentage shot than straight in. Well, looks like he's going to start out with a 1. Let's see where he goes with for his next shot. He could also draw the ball straight back to where he's at, where his hand is, and then shoot the 7 in the lower left-hand corner and come over for the 6. That's exactly what he did. But coming at the 6 ball from this angle, he's not 100% sure where that 6 ball's going. He looks like he's going to use high right English on this ball to pocket it. He might have to draw out of the side rail and into the 6, because if he hits the wrong side of the 14 ball, that's on the rail almost, it's not going to work out for him. And that's exactly what I meant. He's trying to, that ball goes there. That does go there. You don't have to break it out. So now you can play this 13 ball and get up for the 12-9 up in the upper part of the table, in the middle there. Play those, or you can get up on that ball and just freeze him. Play the 12 ball, freeze him to the 9, get ball in hand, and do what you want to do with that 10 ball and get out. But he's playing this 13 ball. He can play the other one too if he wants, because it goes in the pocket. This cue ball will probably hit the 6 ball if. There you go. Now he wants to get up for those upper 3 balls. Sad part about this for Brian is that anywhere in the vicinity of that's just left of his cue stick that you're looking at, and he can play safe if he doesn't get where he wants to be, or if he's not comfortable where he gets. So it allows him some options. Play the 9 ball. He's trying to get perfect on his 10 ball. Trying to get absolutely perfect on his 10 ball. Over on table 1, you have Carlos Avalos and Rob Valenzuela working hard on the score. Looks like Carlos just missed, allowing Rob to come to the table. And Andy got perfect on this ball. And he'll want to hit this ball and draw it back. I like him executing the shot. I think it's good. Don't even think that 2 ball is not in the way. Nowhere close. That's where you want to be. You don't have to come back too far. It's because you're going to go to just right of the cue ball if you draw it back. So now it's a matter of coming back. If he can come back 5 inches to the right of where the cue ball is now, he's going to like it. Just got to make the ball. That's perfect. Perfect. And that's per with a U and 2 R's. Perfect. You can play it for the side pocket. Just draw it back a little bit. He's got the 8 ball on the side. And this will tie it up at 5. Well done, Andy. Well played, Brian. The balls helped you get outmaneuvered there, Brian. Coming into the arena, you have Jim Rabbiton. And who's he playing? Battling over on the other table. Coming up September 3rd through the 7th at Fort McDowell in Scottsdale. The Southwest Regionals. There'll be free live streaming. I'm slated to go back and doing the commentary for that. And I'm George Teyechea, in case you just joined us. Coming up in Las Vegas, the men's U.S. Open 8-ball, 10-ball championship. I guess it's not just men's. Anybody can play in it since it's a U.S. Open. And Jim is just... solids were flying into the table. He made 2 solids and a stripe, I believe. Oh, no. He made 3 stripes and 2 solids. Table sprung a leak. 5 balls on the break. Most I've seen since we've been live streaming this weekend. Made on this table. And it wasn't a real hard break. But he doesn't have an opening shot. So you make 5 balls on the break, and you got to play safe. 3 rails behind the 8. Real thin cut on the 12. A lot of spin on the left, a lot of left-hand English. And try to get behind him, or he's going to come back underneath where he's at now. Huh? No, he's trying to get behind the 8. That's well done. Simplified things. Now again, Andy's into a cat and mouse game. And you can play the combination on the 11 ball, or you can just draw the cue ball straight back to close to where he's at and put him behind the 8 again. He's smiling. Let's see what he does. Or will he try to cut it in the side pocket? I think he's drawing the ball right back to where he's at. Can't tell, though, from here. So I'm seeing what you're seeing, and it's tough to figure out. Carlos and Rob are still locked in battle on table 1. Score's tied at 5. And with the tie score, no flash. According to Fargo, has a distinct advantage. He didn't get behind the 8. He didn't get behind the 8. The table is open. There's 3 stripes gone and 2 solids gone from the break, and the table is open. Easy shot on the 11. And really, other than back cut on the 14, he may be able to see the 3 ball. So he'll have his choice of shoots. No flash. Tied at 5. Not anymore. No flash. Takes a 1-game lead, 6-5. Looks like Carlos Avalos got his job done, and took that game. Jim took stripes, and it looks like they're open except for the 12. But the 12 can be moved when he shoots the 9. I think he'll do it now. He shoots this ball and kind of goes into the 12. The cue ball will probably go up above the 2 for a shot on the 14, and we'll see where the 12 ball ends up. Nope, he's shooting the 14 first. Ouch. What do you say when you miss a straight-in shot? I'll say, ouch. And the other thing about it is he didn't get the cue ball back for the 9. So that's a double ouch. You might add a couple of expletives to that ouch. But Andy comes to the table, and he's got a 6 ball in the side pocket. Everything else goes to the right-hand corner pocket with the exception of the 5. It goes down to the left-hand corner pocket. I'm going to say that Andy gets out here, and we'll tie the score back up at 6, making it a race to 3. And over on table 1, we got Brian Poor getting ready to play some poor guy. Let's see which poor guy it is. Steve Peterman. Looks like he's taking his sword over to do battle. Meanwhile, these gladiators in the arena, and he's up. He'll hit this one ball. He'll want the cue ball either exactly where it's at, making it easier just to kind of stun it up to the just short, just to the left of the 9 ball for a shot on the 2 ball, and able to bring the cue ball up for the 8. I'm sorry, thinking about 9 ball. When I said 9. Oh, he's playing this ball now. Well, I guess either shot, either or leads you to the 8 ball. He'll just pocket this one, stop the cue ball right where you just looked at, and then go up for the 8. Back cut the 5 into the lower corner and go up for the 8. Don't get up too straight. He's perfect. Do you see how he plays position there, guys? He played to a stop shot, so speed. There's no speed involved, and he's not gambling on where he's going to leave his cue ball. You know, did I hit it an inch too hard? Did I hit it an inch too soft? It was a stop shot. And true to form, Andy will go bring his team to a tie game, to a tie match at 6. Now a race to 3. Ryan Poor and Steve Peterman are on table 1. Now this will be a little closer, but Flash will still have about a 65% advantage in a race to 3. Or their numbers will be about 60, between 60 and 65. There you go, 63. Pretty close. Entering the arena to break the tie or tie it up if one team takes the lead over on table 1. This pair will try to correct it. Not give up a 2-game lead. Andy and Chris are in the arena. Brian and Steve Peterman are on table 1. No Flash, according to Fargo, are 63% favored in this match, in this race to 3 as far as the scoreboard's concerned. Brian is shooting. This ball, he missed it. Looked like he got a little tentative on that shot. I don't think he came back far enough anyway. His next shot looks to be on the rail. This brings Steve to the table. Looks like he has a shot on the 1. Meanwhile, Andy's finished racking the balls in the arena. And here we are. Jim in the chair, Andy breaking the balls. Chris in the chair, Andy breaking the balls. Breaking from the middle. Should spread them out pretty good. That is my favorite break right there. But he's not going to make a ball. That is not my favorite break anymore. Chris has an open table. Really, nothing's tied up. If he wants to take stripes, he can do it. wants to take solids, he can more than do it. I'd be taking solids. Because I'd start out with that 7 ball, and I'd take my cue ball into the 1 and shoot the 1 ball in the right-hand corner pocket and go to work from there. Grant, let's see if the 7 ball goes off the 12. Looks like it does from my angle here. He's trying to look ahead. Let's see what he starts off with. What does he start off with, folks? What's he going to start with? Stripes? Does he like stripes? Or does he like solids? Steve Peterman's shooting the 8 ball over there. Take the lead, 7-6. Makes it. Doesn't scratch in the side. Does scratch in the side. Steve Peterman just cut the 8 ball in the side pocket. Went 2 rails and scratched in the opposite side pocket. And instead of taking the lead, he gave no flash the lead. So now Andy and Chris is shooting to extend the lead to 2 games. Andy is shooting to tie it back up at 7. Well, actually, Andy is sitting at the current moment. Chris is working his way around this ball. This run looks good. He can close. He can give them a 2-game lead and go and get on the hill at 8. Heartbreaker over on table 1 for Steve Peterman. Heartbreaker. It looks like he's straight in on this 2 ball, but he's got a slight angle, it looks like, that he can follow 2 rails. He's drawing the ball. Even if he gets shape on this 5, he still has to take the cue ball over to the right side of the table for a shot on the 8 to the upper corner or the left-hand side pocket, because that's the only 2 pockets available for the 8 ball. I don't like shooting this ball. I like shooting the 5 here. I'm getting a ref to look at this, just a little pressure on my opponent, and it could be a bad hit, but I doubt it. It was good. You heard the distinct sound, just that click, click, real quick. Went into the 3 ball pretty easily. But he is straight into the side pocket. He's got to get an angle for the 8 ball. More than likely, he'll stop it and bank the 8 in the same pocket. I don't see other options unless he chooses to draw this ball to get on the 8. I think drawing this ball to get on the 8 is a lot wilder than stopping it for a bank. See if Chris sees a different option than what I pointed out, because there are different options available. He did. He just folded it over, position over the other corner pocket. I thought he was straight in from the angle I was doing, so that wasn't an option for me. But it was for him, since he sees the angles better at the table than I do from the booth. Well done, Chris. And no flashes on the hill. Watch this percentage really shoot up. AttaBoy needs 3 games. No flash needs 1. You have Jim Rabbitin and Steve Peterman on table 1. You have Kevin Peterson. And what gunner will they send against Kevin? Steve has to get his job done on table 1. He just had a heartbreak. Steve Peterman's playing Jim Rabbitin on table 1. And it looks like it'll be Brian Poore against Kevin Peterson on table 33. The arena, and in steps the gladiator in a red shirt and says, "I'm here to close this out." And Kevin says, "I'm here to stop you." Steve Peterman down on the ball, trying to make up for his heartbreak a second ago. A few seconds ago. Trying to make short work of this rack. He's got to go over and back for that ball on the side. Or get up on the 2 balls in the upper left-hand corner, which means over and back. And actually, well, they may not go. Looks like the 2 balls in the way. Since our vantage point is so poor, it's hard to see what he might be attempting. But if Steve can win that game, they'll go to 7 and cut the lead by 1. And if Kevin can win his game, we'll go to an exciting hill-hill match as we had in the quarterfinal last night. When AttaBoy defeated the Las Vegas Q Club. An exciting hill-hill match. Boy, there was pressure. There was pressure all over the place. You could just feel the tension in the players. And what a hand they gave him at the end when Andy Teyechea pocketed the final 8 ball. Kevin breaking the balls. I got to bring my team up. Got to win this game. Using the magic rack. There goes the 6 ball in the corner pocket. The solids are wide open. Solids are wide open. I think that 7 ball goes by the 14 in the upper left-hand corner. And only one problem is that the solids might be wide open. He doesn't really have a high percentage opening shot except for the 4 ball. That's not a high percentage shot. The stripes. The stripes will require a little more work to run, with the 13 being blocked by the 3. With a 12 for 15 up in the left-hand corner. Easy combo. Easy way to take care of that problem. But, well, not so easy. The 7 ball will hinder that task. You could cut the 1 ball on the side. Yes, you could cut the 1 ball on the side. Or the 4 ball in the lower right-hand corner. He's taking the 4 ball in the lower right-hand corner. Easy shot to make, easy shot to miss. Kevin did the latter. looks over and looks over at Steve and says, "Help me out, buddy. I just goofed. I may not be able to win this game now." If Brian runs out, Steve is shooting the 8-ball over on table 1. Looks like he's banking it or cutting it down the rail. He made it. And AttaBoy gets a game. 7-8. This game is big. This game is big. They're on the hill. And Brian is now aware of that. He looks like he's waiting to see how the score changes. I don't think he saw the shot, so. Steve coming over to change the score. But the pressure doesn't change for Kevin. He can't lose this game. They lose the match. He's got to win. To bring it to a hill game. They're getting ready to rack the balls over on table 1. Ryan still weighing his options. Looks like he's going with the 7-ball. By the looks of things, he'll be playing the 5-ball on the side, the 1-ball in the corner or the opposite side. And he has to make sure he gives himself an angle on that 3-ball to the left of the 13 so he can pocket it in the lower left-hand corner. And if he shoots that last, he's going to have to do some work to get a shot on the 8-ball on the side. Because the cue ball will go towards the right side of the table. He wants to be on the left. There's a rail to bring him back, but there's a pocket to stop him. He could play this now. In fact, I would play this now. I'd play this 3-ball now. Go 2 rails for shape on the 4, get on the 1, close it out, win the match. You don't want to go to the hill. Yes, he's looking to put the cue ball right where he just put his cue stick. And what he'll probably do is give himself an angle to go up for the 1 on the side and then down for the 8 on the opposite side. And paying more attention to the shape, he missed the ball. Kevin has a little work to do. He's got that 14 ball, the one right by the 8, or is it the 5, whichever ball. That 8 ball by the 8. I'm not sure if it goes in the side or not. If it's kissing the 8, it probably doesn't. If it's not kissing the 8, it will go. He's limited his options. He's got one option: shoot the 10 ball, or shoot the combo. Do you take a combo, or do you take a 10 ball? He's going to have to shoot the combo sooner or later. He's going to open up the combo right now with left-hand English on this 10. He's going to attempt to open up the combo. 11 on the side. 13 on the side, excuse me. And now, can we go to a left camera angle, see if that 14 ball goes by the 8? There we go. The 14 ball does go by the 8. Thank you, Steve. 14 goes by the 8, so he Might be looking at playing safe. Nope, he's not. He's looking at shooting this ball right here. You'll be playing safe now, right behind. No, I think he can make the ball. See on your monitor, it looks like he can't make the ball. I think it goes. And he's going to draw underneath it for a shot in the same pocket. Oh, no, he played safe. I guess it wouldn't go. Yeah. If that ball didn't go, you park the cue ball right behind the 12 and challenge your opponent to make a good hit. The only thing he could have done better was froze him to that ball, but that would have been a risk of possibly moving the ball and giving up a shot on the one. That was perfect. He optimized his opportunity to play safe. He's calling the one ball. He's going to be kicking at it. This is very doable. This can happen. Odds are against it, but it can happen. Kick it in the side. Have a shot on the 4. Made a good hit. Got about as much as he could out of the miss that he possibly could. Kevin has a back cut on this 14 ball, or 15 ball to the corner pocket. In doing so, he'll have a shot on the 12 and have to come down for a shot on the ball next to the 8. The side pocket could come into play. He draws it over straight. And it did not. You'll see him take right-hand English on this cue ball and go 2 rails, trying to come down between the 8 and the 4 for position on the 14. He could also play the cue ball over to the right side pocket and get straight in on the 14 for the left-hand corner pocket. Those are the options. Could also come into it. I think he hit that a little too hard. That could have been a little dangerous. He'd be better off just barely coming off the rail than hitting the ball. This is a straight draw shot. Hit the rail and come out for the 8 in the side. Don't overamp this and get behind the 4. This will make it a tie game. Match is tied at 8. This is the second hill set for AttaBoy. Now they're going to go over to table 1 and finish it off the race there. They were here last night. AttaBoy was here last night at 8-8 against the Las Vegas Q Club, and he closed it out. Who's going to be the clutch man now? Oh, we're going to have it right here. It is not. They didn't start the game on table 1. We got to thank these guys for taking the Hill game in the arena. It's Hill, guys. And to tell you the truth, both teams have the top gun in the arena. I like the way you told me to shut up. Okay, here we are. Carlos Avalos racking the balls. Andy Teyechea in the seat in the arena. They're top players, both teams' top players in the arena. They both are excellent 7-foot tape. They're both excellent players, regardless of the size of the table. Carlos, I like the way Carlos moves here. I like the way Andy moves here. This is a very well matched game. Very fitting for the situation. The pressure's on both of them. You see the score at the top of your screen, 8-8. Winner moves on into the finals against the Avengers from Phoenix. Loser settles for third place. A hard thing to settle for. Hard thing to settle for. Gentlemen, shake hands. Carlos will be breaking the balls. Andy in the chair. Can't do anything but watch at this point. He's open for a dry break. Carlos is not. Carlos is hoping and playing for a table run. Andy can't do a thing about it until he comes to the table. A helpless feeling. Side second ball break, and he went the worst you can do on a second ball break is to hit it, hit the rail, and scratch cross pocket. He did that. And everything is spread out. There isn't anything tied up. There are no problem balls. And Andy Teyechea comes to the table with a completely open table. So here it is, folks. A table run to put you into the finals. I think he's going to start with the 1 ball. The 1 ball, the 4 ball, the 6 ball, the 7 ball, the 2 balls on the left for the side, and the 8 ball in the side pocket. And this match is over. Now, seeing it and doing it are two different things. Point is, I see it that way. What does Andy see? He could also start with the 6 and get shape on the 1, but I like it the other way better. Doesn't require as much of an angle, and you can almost dead stop every shot. Everybody's on their feet. Everybody's watching Andy. 3 other gentlemen are sitting there. Come on, Andy. Close it out for us, buddy. 4 other guys from the opposing team are sitting there. Let us back to the table. Give us a chance to win. We can't win if you're at the table. Carlos is sick to his stomach because he just scratched on the break. He's going to take stripes, since there's only 5 stripes to make. He's going to start with the 8 ball. He's going to go 8 ball, 10 ball, combo in the corner, lower right hand corner, and then the 13, and then the 8 ball in the upper left hand corner, depending on where he gets on the 13. What I don't like about saving the 13 for last is anytime you're playing a ball to the side pocket, your angle influences your position. Sometimes you have to work too hard for position because of the angle. You have to be perfect for the side pocket. You don't have to be perfect for the corner. Easier to control the ball out of the corner than the side. There's no combo involved. He's just going to this ball here, which more than likely means he won't be shooting the 13 last. No, the way things lay now, he might have to. This is a temperamental shot. That's why I like stopping the 10 and playing the combo. Different choices. And Andy controls his cue ball very, very well. See if right now he could come into the 12 and come into the 1 and stop it for the 13. But it get away from him. Anytime you're bumping the ball, he can get away. Now he's pressed for, he's got very small landing strips for the 13. I'd almost be tempted to look at the combo on the 13, then trying to land the cue ball in the perfect position for the 13. Almost. Went 2 rails underneath it and got absolutely, well, he's not perfect, but he'll be playing the 14 ball. Because he's got to travel this cue ball back for this ball. How brave is he? He cuts the 13 with center left English on his cue ball, or he goes into the 6th, and we'll go 3 rails down here for this ball. But it's a wild, wild shot. He's just got to take this shot and make it. He's got to drain it. This cue ball will come up to about where the 6th ball is and the 13 is. He's probably going to come into him. This is one of those shots where you just might have to come with a shot and travel the cue ball to the 6-13 and roll them. Roll the dice. You don't want to ever roll the dice on a match, but looks like he might be faced with rolling the dice. Be nice if you could hit the 4 ball full and stop. Which I think is what he was trying to do. I think I would have taken my chances rolling into the balls. Could have easily made the 13 on that shot. But then again, cue ball would be traveling. Or would you go for the 8? No certainties. Now you're faced with a kick shot for the win. He can come between the 4 and the 1. Come up and kick this in. That's what he's looking at right now. Very makeable shot. Also, a missable shot. This is for the match. And he makes this. He'll have a good position on the 8 ball. This is for the match. I'd like to have the anxieties he's feeling right now. And the same for Carlos over on the left, smiling, talking to Brian. They're hoping against greatness, and he's hoping for the great shot. Planning for it. Breathing for it. Reaching for it. And shooting for it. Up and away. Missed it. Missed it. Open table for the match for Carlos. Six balls away from winning the match. Ball in hand. 6 balls away. Just execute. Just execute. This is for the loser here gets third place. The winner will continue on in the finals against the Avengers. The Avengers are looking on, saying, how will he handle the pressure? Carlos is handling it well. Little draw. Key shot is probably the 3. Again, a side pocket shot. Don't like them. But that's the key ball that you want to make and stop right there, first position on your 8. He's playing the 4 ball. Coming out for the 1. Perfect. Little bit of stun. Try and get as straight as you can on the 3 ball on the side. Any kind of an angle is going to influence your shot. Got a perfect stop shot, and he's got a stop shot for the 8 ball. Well, he's got a slight angle. It's a stop shot. And there it is. Straight in on the 8. No earthquakes, and he'll make this ball in the corner. And they win. Great match. AttaBoy pushed their luck a little too far. They were in a hill match last night, and they lost the hill match today. Third place for AttaBoy, and No Flash goes on to the finals.